So without doubt, the best way for senior golfers to hit iron shots is what I'm about to share with you. I have over 30 years experience of coaching golf, and I feel I found the perfect technique for golfers as they start to lose a bit of flexibility and start to get more towards the senior ages, just like myself. So I'm going to share with you the perfect technique that you and I should be using to play better golf forever. So I recently did a video on senior driving tips, and it posted a few comments of people asking, is this the same for iron shots? So let's share exactly what we want to change with iron shots. Now the key with senior golfers is we want to make sure we turn behind the golf ball, we rotate the golf ball. That was the basic premise for the driver video. But when we come to it in iron, we are hitting it off the ground. And when we're hitting the ball off the ground, if I just turn behind the golf ball and make no attempt to get back, there's a good chance I will hit the ball thin or topped or fatted, which is no good at all. We want to make sure we make solid contact, but still try and maximize our ability to make a good turn behind the ball. So if you make sure you follow these steps, this will give you the best turn behind the golf ball, but also get the low point control that we want. So what we're going to look to do is get you to turn behind the golf ball. The easiest way to turn behind the golf ball is have a narrower stance. Obviously, if we go too narrow, we will start to lose stability. So it wants to be narrow, and for me, a bit like a duck, a bit sort of splayed with both feet in order to increase the range of motion. We want to feel from there that we can preset a little bit of the hips forward and closed. This also helps us turn behind the golf ball, but the fact we're presetting them more forward helps to create that low point a bit later in the golf swing. It helps create that lateral motion that we want, that slide that we want in the golf swing. I know some people get a bit scared by slide, but the best golfers slide about 5 to 6 inches in the golf swing from transition to ball. And according to the 3D scientists, the ability to move laterally as you get older becomes harder. So presetting this position is a key, and what I've learned over 30 years of doing this. So setting up narrow, so just inside kind of shoulder width, feet flared to allow your hips to have the mobility to rotate. Presetting the tailbone, what you feel is ahead of the golf ball. So your belt buckle here, your belly button, starting to get more forward ahead of the golf ball, but still trying to keep your head behind the ball. That's important. And what we want to feel is a bit more of a pelvis tuck at the start and a little bit more of a rounding of the back. This will help you move and get mobility without being kind of locked out. Now, the more we bend over, obviously the movement up and down will want to happen. So we don't want to go extreme with this, but certainly don't want you to be kind of locked out and bolt upright and tense. It's got to feel quite relaxed through the spine. The breathing should be through the diaphragm. And we're presetting the hips forward to get the spine slightly tilted behind the golf ball. From there, what we're going to try and do is just draw that right foot back a touch. Draw the right hip back a touch while still keeping it ahead. This will give us the ability to create some depth in our backswing, turn behind the golf ball. I'm not worried if the left heel moves a little bit. I'm not worried if your head moves more behind the ball than we would currently want in terms of idealism. I want your head ideally to move no more than kind of 1 to 2 inches. But for senior golfers, I would much rather you move it 2 inches and turn behind the ball than not turn at all. Now, to compensate for the fact that we might well be behind the golf ball and can't get back to the ball, I'm going to ask you to roll the ball back 1 golf ball. So quite simply roll it back 1 golf ball with all your iron shots, and certainly any shot that you'd hit off the fairway. So we want to roll it back and preset those hips in this position. So we're trying to get that mobility, trying to get that turn, this relaxedness with our bodies. If someone's kind of punching us in the diaphragm, curling over. From there, hips forward, head back, the ball's back in the stance. Big turn, heel can raise if need be, and then we're going to hit a golf ball. And that one there, I absolutely flushed. Great contact in the golf ball. I pushed it a little bit to the right. So everything I'm doing there in setup is going to encourage me to have more of that inside path. Now obviously the inside path is what most of us dream of. We don't want to be cutting across the golf ball, wiping the ball. That's going to lose power, make the face want to open up. So the more we can feel that we are hitting the ball from that inside angle, the better. Narrow stance, tuck under, ball back, head behind the golf ball, big turn, and turn through the golf ball. I don't even mind if the fall through is not what you would call full. If it's kind of 7/8, As long as we get the ball contact and we've got behind the ball, it means we can generate the correct path and low point to give us successful, consistent golf shots, to play your best golf forever without a lot of work. That is the key thing. Very little work and great golf forever.